This conference will now be recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
All right. So yesterday we had discussed about the concepts of sorting and filtering from this module 4, which is about organizing and simplifying the data. So under sorting, we know that we can sort the data from the axis, from the header, from the toolbar using the drag and drop feature, which is manual sort, or by accessing the sort dialog box from the field whose members we would like to sort and arrange in a particular sequence. So of looking at the profits, or let's say sales from different subcategories. To sort, we can sort it by clicking on the sort icon on the axis. First click, the data is sorted in descending order. Second click, ascending. Third click, unsorted view. Then we can also sort from the sort icons present on the toolbar. So this is the icon which will help you sort your data in descending order, and the other icon for ascending order. If we have to clear the sort, we can simply go to the field whose members are arranged in a particular sequence based on their sales value and go ahead and clear the sort. Okay. Now let us say I have profit on the marks card on the color shelf. I have color coded the bars by profit. Now I would like to sort it by profit. Then I can simply select the profit pill by clicking on it, go to the icons on the toolbar and then sort it. Very easy. Now imagine profit pill is not there in the picture. It is nowhere in the picture, but you have to arrange these subcategories by profit. Then you can access the sort window from the field subcategory, choose the sort by as field, then the order, then the field based on which we want to sort the data. Okay, so we can see, let's go with descending order. Now to make a little sense out of this chart, better to use profit somewhere on the graph, like on the color shelf, so you can see the color shade, or you can also take it to the columns shelf, anywhere you want. Ultimately, the end user should be able to understand that we have sorted this data by profit. So however you want to visually represent it, you may do so. So that is about sorting from the field. And we know about nested sort. We also discussed on nested sort. So let me clear the sort. So when I sort using the icons on the toolbar, basically Tableau is arranging the subcategories depending on your sales from high to low. So phones is in the first position, then comes chairs, and then machines in the sixth position, fasteners in the last position. It is sorted. Suppose I bring in order date into the picture. Okay, you can see that sometimes by default nested sort happens, sometimes it does not. If it does not, what is happening here is Tableau remembers the sequence of these subcategories, the original sequence of the subcategories, it kind of memorized. And even when I bring order date into picture, it is continuing to show me the same sequence, even though the performance of these subcategories is slightly different in each year. In each year, the performance is different, but the same sequence is getting repeated everywhere. Phones in the first position, chairs in the second position, then machines in the sixth position, fasteners in the last position. So it is basically memorizing the original sequence and maintaining the same sequence across all the years. Suppose your requirement is to sort the members present inside each year that are nested inside the year. Within each year, you want to sort these members in a proper sequence depending on their sales information in that year. Then you will have to go ahead and choose nested sort. So we will go and say we want to do a nested sort in whatever order based on whatever field, and then you can see how within each year it is neatly arranged in a sequence. Okay, machines in the third position. Here you see chairs went to the first position, right? So that is nested sort. And we can also sort very easily by manually moving things around, right? I can just drag and drop things wherever I want and rearrange the members manually. Or if you have used something on the color shelf, you can rearrange things from the color legend. Okay, so you can just rearrange things the way you like. Let me bring category here, it will make sense then. From the color legend, we can rearrange directly from the header. Also, we can go ahead and rearrange the members which are nested inside a parent member, or here itself you can rearrange. So manual sorting, we call all these things of rearranging by using the drag and drop feature. We call it manual sorting. So these were the things that we discussed with respect to sorting. And then we proceeded to look at filtering. Under filter, we discussed that we can apply filters at the data source level. Means while getting connected to the data source itself, we can tell Tableau that we want to filter the data and get only the data required for our analysis. Or after you have fetched the data, when you're trying to create an extract, even there, if you want to extract only little data, not everything, you can put an extract level filter. Or after going to the worksheet, when you're working on creating the reports, etc., you can go ahead and create filters or apply filters over here also. So we took the example and we also discussed that we can put filters on dimensions, on measures, on dates, all the fields basically. So if you're putting a filter on a dimension, you just drag that dimension to the filters shelf. Tableau will give you the window which will help you to define or set up your filter conditions. General is simple selection criteria where you will select what is required and uncheck or deselect what is not required. Wildcard is where we can give some string criteria, character, substring or string, and you can give the matching value basically. And depending on the conditions that you set up here, you'll get the data. Condition, where we can set up a condition based on some measure, whether profit is greater than 0 or something like that we can do. We can also use the load button that will tell you about the minimum and the maximum value of that measure at the dimension level of detail for the members in that dimension. And then accordingly, you can also write a formula to handle a much more complex filter condition, which could be based on multiple values and multiple fields. Then we said we can also go with top, which is used to set up a limit on the number of data points we would like to see. So I want only top 5 meeting the criteria. And when I do that, I'll get only top 5. Okay, so this is about filters. And on if you don't want to set up any such conditions, you just want to leave to the end user. Let them select what they want. Let them deselect what they do not want. Let them define the filter condition. If that is the requirement, then you can simply go ahead and show the filter. Okay, like for example, I have gone to subcategory and I'm going to show the filter on subcategory. What happens? It becomes an interactive filter. When it becomes an interactive filter, what happens is the members in that field, they will appear on the right side. By default, it is a multiple value list, means it will allow you to select multiple values. And the end user will be able to interact with the graph by selecting what is required and unchecking or deselecting what is not required. Okay, so now I'll keep everything selected. Now we will discuss a little further on this concept of dimension filters. Let us say here in this graph, I also have category. Okay. And I also want to turn on a filter on the category dimension. So I'll show the category filter as well. I showed the subcategory filter, then I showed the category filter. So I have category filter here, and I also have subcategory filter here. We know that there is a relationship between category and subcategory. There is kind of a parent and child relationship, right? Like hierarchical relationship. Category, you can think of it as a parent, and subcategory as the child member in the hierarchy, because each category consists of certain subcategories inside it, right? Each category consists of certain subcategories which belong only to that category and no other category. Okay, they're exclusively uh, belonging to a particular category. They're exclusive. Okay, now suppose I uncheck office supplies and technology here. What should happen? Office supplies and technology related data disappears from the graph, and we are able to see only furniture because that is the only thing that is selected. Quite meaningful, right? It is quite meaningful. That is the expected behavior. However, what I notice is the members in this subcategory filter did not get updated. Right, when I choose furniture category on the category filter, it is quite sensible and meaningful that only the subcategories under furniture should appear in the subcategory filter. Agreed, all of you? It would be meaningful, right, to show only relevant data even on the subcategory filter. Why are we showing subcategories which do not belong to furniture here when clearly furniture is selected? It makes sense that we should show only furniture related subcategories over here. Now, how to do that? How to do that? So what we can do is simply click on the drop down icon of the filter and you will find an option called as only relevant values. Only relevant values. So when you select that, what happens is, based on the selection that you make in the category filter, only relevant values will show up on the subcategory filter, not just on the graph, even in the subcategory filter. So it checks for relevance and only relevant data will show up. Suppose I do not select any category, nothing, and no subcategory member. Suppose I select technology. On the graph, I can see technology, and under the subcategory also, I can see the list of members present in the subcategory dimension alone, present in the technology dimension alone, technology in that member alone, right? So it's quite sensible to display it like this. Now here again, there's a little, there are a few things that I would like you to explore by yourself because you have weekend also. Now, when you go to the filter and click on the drop down icon of the filter, you will notice there are 7 different ways in which we can display or show the filter to the end user. Multiple value list, multiple value drop down, single value list, single value drop down, single value slider, etc. So you try this out. Okay. When you say single value list, they will be forced to select only one member. They cannot select multiple members, only one member. All right. And also try to figure out and tell me on Monday, will it be possible to get rid of all from this list? At any given point of time, let us say my requirement is that the end user should be able to select only one member. Then why all? I don't want to give the provision of all. How do I get rid of all? Okay, these two things you all try to explore and tell me. Relevant values. Did you understand the concept? Means depending on what we are selecting on the category, only those relevant subcategories should get displayed, right? For that purpose, we will go and click on this drop down icon of the subcategory pill and say only relevant values. When you say only relevant values, what happens? Depending on the selection that you are making here, only the relevant data, corresponding data comes in the subcategory filter. Making sense, Rani? Clear? Yeah. All right. So you'll explore the other ways of displaying the filter and also tell me on Monday how to get rid of all from the list. Then we also discussed about measure filters and how we show the measure filter. We discussed about date filters and how we show the date filter. Next concept that we are going to look at is called as context filter. I'll give you an example here at dashboard level. In your assignment, you have a question that you have to execute at worksheet level. You can go ahead and do it later on. Okay, just to explain the purpose of context filter and how it works, I'll give you one example. Don't do any of this along with me because we have not yet learned how to create maps, etc. Only focus on the concept of context filter that I will take up in a moment. So I have created one geographical map of United States where I'm coloring the states depending on their profit value. So very deep shade of blue indicates that California is giving very high profits. Texas is giving us loss. Illinois is giving us loss, so on and so forth. Okay. So basically, what is happening here is we have colored the states depending on their profit. Okay. Now I'll create a graph that will show me the top 5 customers by profit. Customer name, I'll take to the row shelf, profit to the column shelf. I'll sort this data, color this data by profit, but I want only top 5. So I'll take customer name to the filter shelf and say I'm interested in looking at only the top 5 customers based on their sum of profit. Okay. Now I'll create one more chart. Bottom 5 customers. Again, same customer name, profit, sort, color. But here, when I take customer name to the filter shelf, I will say I am interested in looking at the bottom 5 customers of the business. And I'll put these things together on a dashboard. So that way I can show them to you together. Size I'll use as automatic. Slightly more space to the dashboard. Adjust the fit of this chart so it looks neat. Just the fit of this chart also so it looks neat. Anyway, we will learn about dashboards a little later in the training. Okay, just don't worry about how I create it. Just focus on the concept of context filters. I'm going to turn on the filter here. So when we turn on the filter like this by on the graph itself starts acting as a filter. It's a filter action. It's called as an action. Now this is what I'm going to do. When I click on California, what happens is this is acting as a filter. This graph itself now is acting as a filter because I have turned on the filter. That is called as filter action. What happens when we do that is every data point is going to act as a filter condition, which means suppose I select California, okay, by clicking on it, all the remaining graphs on the dashboard are going to be updated automatically. They'll get updated to show me the data corresponding to California. So what is happening here? We are showing a map. We are showing top 5 customers for the entire superstore business present in the US. We are showing bottom 5 customers for the entire superstore business present in the US. Okay. Now what happens when I apply a filter on a country? If I say I want to look at data for California, the other two graphs are getting updated. What are they doing? Out of the overall top 5 customers, it is showing me who belong to California and their contribution towards profits for California. Is this clear how this filter is working? This is the overall top 5. This is the overall bottom 5. When I select California, now observe the names. Tamara Chand, Raymond, Sanjeet, Hunter, and Adrian are the top 5 customers of the business. When I select California, filter is getting applied and it is showing me people from the top 5 list who belong to California. Okay, so these are the top 5 customers. So when I click on California, what is happening? Tableau is showing me from this top 5 list, it is showing me whoever belongs to California or has made some transactions in the state of California. So who are there? Sanjeet is there and Raymond is there. These two people have performed some transactions in California. Very little value, $144 by Sanjeet and $72 from Raymond. And of the overall bottom 5, 3 of them are from California, and these 3 people are giving us profits in California. Is this clear? Bottom 5 customers who are giving the worst losses are also managing to give profits in California. No wonder California is doing so well, right? Everybody wants to give profit. Nobody wants to push it into loss. Now I'll clear the selection. Upon clearing the selection, back to the original top 5 for the entire business and original bottom 5 for the entire business. Suppose I select Texas. What will happen? Out of the top 5, whoever has made any transactions in Texas, their names and their contribution is coming up. Now, very strangely, Tamara Chand, the most profitable customer of the business, is also giving loss in Texas. Adrian is in the 5th position. With respect to the top 5 customers, he's in the 5th position and he is also giving us a loss here. Okay, no wonder Texas is doing so bad. Even the most profitable customers have managed to give us a loss there. Okay, and here we have Henry Goldwyn and Luke Foster who are giving loss. Okay, upon clearing the selection, back to the original. Is it clear how the filter action works here? We have not yet discussed context filter. I'm just showing you filter action. So I put a filter on the dashboard, and when I select something on the worksheet which is acting as a filter, only the data relevant to the selection made is coming up on the other sheets. So far, what is happening? Is it clear? Now let us change the requirement. Let us change the requirement. My requirement is when I select any state here, I want to see the top 5 customers from that state, a refreshed list of top 5 customers for that state alone. Means when I select a state, Tableau has to first fetch the data for that state. In that state, it is supposed to pick up the top 5 of that state and show me in the report. So I need the top 5 customers from California. I want the bottom 5 customers from California. How to do this? Means what is it that we are trying to do? Rather than fetching the top 5 first and then looking for them in California, you fetch data for California first, then identify the top 5 in that data. So we are trying to enforce a sequence in which the filters are supposed to be applied. State filter should take precedence. After fetching the data for the state that is selected on the state filter, we need to fetch the top 5 from that state. So who should take precedence here? Who is going to be given importance? State. State filter should take precedence if selected. Okay. So we need to put state to context. We need to put the state filter to context. Now, the moment you apply an action filter and you activate the action by clicking on any of the members here, an item for that action, a line item for that action will come up in your filters shelf. You see here, country and state. I have to just make this a context filter. How do you make something a context filter? Just by adding it to context. Just by adding it to context. So what is a context filter? It is something that gets executed before any other filters in the worksheet. It is a filter that gets executed before any other filter in the worksheet. So your data source filters get applied. Then if you're creating an extract filters will get applied. Then at worksheet level when you come, context filters will be applied first. Then dimension filters, then measure filters. After that. So there is a hierarchy in which the filters are executed. So context filters will take precedence over everything else. Which means now that I have put this to context in top 5 customers sheet, this is the total overall top 5. But suppose I activate the filter by selecting a state. I selected California. So California, Tableau will first activate the state filter. It will fetch the data for that state California. And all the other filters will be applied on the data which we have fetched for the state of California. Rather than working on the entire data, they are going to work all the subsequent filters. They will work on the data that we have fetched for California alone, which means what? Performance also will improve significantly. Your filters now, rather than working on the entire data, they are working only on limited data that has been set to context. Getting it? Context filters will also improve the performance. Why? Because the subsequent filters, instead of working on the entire data, they're working on very limited amount of data that has been set to context. So now top 5 filter will act on this data of California, and these are the top 5 from California. New list of top 5 because these are the top 5 of California. Suppose I select Texas, then I'll get the top 5 from Texas. Suppose I select Washington, I'll get the top 5 from Washington. Suppose I select, depending on the state I'm selecting, I'll get it. Now, Wyoming is a state which has only one customer, Michelle Arnett. Only one customer is there in that business, okay, for that state. Oregon, top 5. Nevada, top 5. Is it clear what is happening when you put a filter to context? When you clear the selection on the entire data, whoever is the top 5 we are seeing. So let us put bottom 5 also to context now. I will go here. How do you put a filter to context? Go to the filter that you want to make a context filter, click on the drop down icon of that filter and select the option add to context. Job done. This has become a context filter, which means what? It will get executed, or this filter will be applied before any other filters in that worksheet, which means precedence or importance is given to the context filter. So when I select any particular state here, Tableau is going to take the data for that state and apply all the other filters on that limited amount of data for that state. So performance will improve and you're getting data corresponding to that state, bottom 5 and top 5. Upon clearing the selection means when you have not selected anything, we are basically working on the entire data and top 5, overall top 5 and overall bottom 5. Okay, so context filters, that is how they behave. Hope it's clear. There is one question in the assignment that you have to solve based on context filter logic. You have to look at the top 5 per region. Okay, so try it out, and if you're not able to do it, we'll do it on Monday in the class. Okay. After you have applied filters, next thing we will discuss is about the scope of the filter. Yeah, you can have multiple context filters. Yes, it will just get executed in the sequence that they are in the filters shelf. You can have multiple context filters. Region, you can make one context filter. Inside that state, you can make one more context filter. In that, you can look at whatever number of whatever you want possible. I'll give you a moment here, and then we'll discuss one more concept with respect to the scope of the context filter. Okay, shall we proceed? All right. So now let's discuss about the scope of the filter. When I apply any filter, let us say I've taken this category filter. When I apply a filter on a worksheet, okay, it is impacting only that worksheet where I applied it, right? Suppose I uncheck furniture, then furniture is gone only from this particular worksheet. On other worksheets, it is just fine the way it was. So how do you change the scope of the filter in such a way that it should impact multiple worksheets? How do we make a filter impact multiple worksheets? Okay, so when you click on the drop down icon of the field, and there is an option called as apply to worksheets. When you go there, by default a filter is applied only to the sheet where it is created. It is applied only on the worksheet where it is created. You can change the scope to selected worksheets. So when you make it selected worksheets, you get to choose other worksheets which should be impacted by this filter. I'll say sheet 1. Okay, so you will get this kind of an icon telling that this filter is going to impact multiple worksheets, and when you hover there, it will tell you applies to selected worksheets with same data source. So when I change this filter here, what happens, even sheet 1 gets updated, and an entry for that filter has made in the came up in the filters shelf over here also. Getting it? Suppose I change the filter and include furniture as well, then on the other sheet also it will get updated accordingly. So we are changing the scope of the filter Rather than impacting only the worksheet from where it is created, we are making it impact other worksheets as well. Okay, now we can also make it apply, make the filter get applied to all the worksheets using that data source. So all the worksheets are built using sample superstore. You see barrel icon. This icon is an indication that this filter will impact all the sheets where that data source is being used. Means not just, now let's select only technology. Okay, not just sheet 1, even the map will show you profits corresponding to technology only. So here nothing related to technology is being sold. Here nothing related to technology is being sold. West Virginia, nothing from technology. Okay, and you can see the profits from technology. So when you look at technology, Texas is giving us a profit in technology category. Overall, Texas was giving us a loss, but in technology category, it is actually managing profits. Okay, Ohio is the state with the worst loss in technology. So you will get top 5 from technology, you will get bottom 5, top 5 not from technology, the top 5 and their contribution towards the profits in technology. Okay, similarly bottom 5. Now let's go here. Getting it right, how you can make a filter impact multiple things. Now I'll remove technology and select furniture. So all the sheets will show me the data corresponding to furniture. Furniture is being sold here. Okay, not in North Dakota, not in West Virginia, but here. Now look at Texas, it is experiencing very bad loss when it comes to furniture category. Illinois is experiencing a very bad loss. Pennsylvania, Ohio, when it comes to technology. And when you look at the top 5, Tamara Chand has not made any purchases in the furniture category. Only 4 of the top 5 have purchased products from furniture, or in which Adrian Barton is giving a loss. I hope you're all able to understand what's going on here. So when you select apply a filter, it is impacting all the other worksheets. All the other worksheets showing you the respective data. All right. So that is how you can change the scope of the filter. Another option is apply to all using related data sources. So in case you have done something called as data blending, then you will be able to use this filter. All the related data sources also will show you relevant information on the worksheets. Okay. So after we learn data blending, you can come back and implement this concept. For now, I will say only this worksheet. So only this worksheet will be impacted, nothing else. Others will not be impacted by it. All right. So that is how we use filters. Okay. So we have discussed almost everything about filters, and filter action is something we will discuss when we get to dashboards in detail. Even at worksheet level, you can apply filter action. Okay, you can apply filter action, but it's not so meaningful. I'll do it when we get to dashboards. Okay, so that is about filters in Tableau. Take a moment and try out applying filters to multiple worksheets, etc. Try it out. I'll give you all 2 minutes here. After that, we will begin our discussion on groups. Yeah, Rani, that is what I was telling. All using related data sources means when you establish a relationship between multiple data sources using a concept called as data blending. All right, data blending is something we will learn in module 5. After we complete data blending, you come back to this concept again and apply that condition. Apply to all using related data source. So you will have to practice that. After we discuss data blending, you will have to come back and practice it, which we will do in module 5. Okay, Rani? Yeah. All right. So let's proceed and discuss further now. The next concept that we are going to learn is called as groups. Group is nothing but a collection of data points. It is a collection of data points. Now, how do you create a collection or a group? It depends on whatever requirement you're working with. So there are two ways, actually three ways in which we can create a group. We can create a visual group directly by selecting the data in the view, the marks that are present on the view, the data points, or we can create a group by selecting the header, members on the header. Okay, or we can also select a group by going to the dimension itself, to the field, the dimension in the data pane, and then choosing to create a group out of it. So I will show you the dimension group first. That is the most important and significant thing. Now we know that there is one default way in which data is organized in Superstore, in the sense that we have category, and under each category we have a few subcategories present, right? We have category, and under each category we have different subcategories which are present. Now let us say for some reason the client came up with a requirement where you have to rearrange these members or regroup these members into different parent members. So they have given you some requirement saying, okay, I want appliances, art, binders, bookcases, and chairs to come together under one parent member, to be grouped together under one member. Then how to do it? Okay, in such scenarios, we will have to create a group directly from the dimension. So regrouping, basically, there is some default organization already present, but you want to rearrange or regroup. Then you go to the subcategory field and you create a group. Create a group. Then select the members. It could be random selection. As you like, you can select. I'm going to select in a sequence. Till here I'm going to select the members, and I will, no, not till here, till here I'll select, and I will call this AB group. Okay, after selecting the members that you would like to combine together or group together, just hit the group button. You just have to hit the group button. Now when you click on group, they will form a group. Paperclip icon is an indication that it is a group. This is the name with which the field will appear in your data pane. I will call it as subcategories regrouped. Okay, because there is some default grouping which I'm changing. I'm not changing the default, I'm creating another group for my own requirement, which I'm calling as regrouped. Then I will select the other a few more members, hit the group button. I'll call this CEF group. Okay, then I'll select the rest of the members, or I can say include other. So all the other members will automatically go into a group named other, where I have used include other, which I will rename. Okay, this other group I'm going to rename and call this miscellaneous. So I have three members in my group. Accessories, let us rename this to AB group. I'll rename that to AB group. Then I have a CEF group with some members in it. Then I have a miscellaneous group with some members in it. Okay. So I've created a group with the name subcategory regrouped with 3 members in it. Each member having some child members in it. You can say like that. Okay. Now when I do this and I create my graph with the group field, so I can see the 3 members present in the group field, which will show up AB group, CEF group, miscellaneous group. I want to look at the profits per group. So I can see what is the profit coming from each of the groups. Okay, and I notice that CEF group is giving me the highest profit. But who are the members that are actually present in this AB group? If you want to know that, then you bring the field like subcategory using which we created the group and place it next to the group field. So these are the members which came together and formed a parent group called as AB group. These are the members which came together to form CEF, and these members came together to form miscellaneous. Okay, so that is how you can make use of the concept of dimension groups in real time. Anything you can group, not necessarily something that has that structure, anything. Like for example, if you take segment, okay, now let me create a group on segment. I want to see whether consumer and home office together, what is their contribution of consumer and home office together, and what is the contribution of corporate towards profits. So I will group consumer and home office together, call it consumer and home office, and corporate I'll leave it as is. Corporate I'll leave it as is. Okay, so now what happens? When I use the segment group that I created, I can see consumer and home office together as one line item, corporate as another line item. Let us see which one is giving us higher profits. So consumer home office together are giving us very high profits compared to corporate. Correct. So like that you can do your analysis by putting members under different groups. So here, let me edit the group. I will rearrange the members. Let me take home office into corporate. Okay, let me remove this ungroup and I will put corporate and home office together in one group and click on OK. Now you see corporate and home office together are better than consumer alone. So more or less you can say individual consumers are giving you better profits. Corporates means what? Once in a while they'll buy in bulk, but individual consumers they are like regular customers who come in a day in day out, they come and they keep making purchases. So even though they are giving smaller individually, they might their contribution could be small, but collectively they are giving you very high profits. Individual contribution could be very high when it comes to a corporate office, but very few corporates will be there, but you'll have millions of consumers, right? So for any kind of analysis, you can do such things. You can create a group and change the members, put them under different parent members and check their performance. Please create a dimension group, whichever example you want, replicate it and let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and look at visual group. I don't see any questions coming, so I hope it's clear. Let us proceed to the next topic that we will be looking at. Visual group. Okay, let's say I have created a chart which is showing me the profits from different subcategories and I have sorted it. Now my requirement is to place these three data points which are giving me loss in one group. Okay, the loss making subcategories, I want to place them in one group. Okay, so I've selected these three data points which I want to put together. My intention behind creating this group, okay, my intention behind creating this group is they are giving me loss, so I want to put them in a group named as loss. So I selected all these visually, whichever is oriented in the negative direction, indicating loss, I have selected them, and I will simply hover the mouse pointer towards any one of the marks that are selected. A paperclip icon will come up on the tooltip, which can be used to create a group. Or you can right click on the selected data points anywhere and you get an option called as group on the context menu. So by clicking on that also, we can create a group, whatever is convenient. Let's say I created a group. So what will Tableau do? You see, what did it do? It placed the members that I had selected in one member in the group and rest of the members in another member named other automatically. So it placed supplies, bookcases and tables in one group. Rest of them went into a group named other. And a member also got created in the dimensions pane, a field containing these groups. So if I go and edit that group, you can see how Tableau has placed these three members in this group and the rest of the members in the group named other. Okay, now let's say I'm happy with this graph and my requirement is done. I was supposed to highlight the subcategories with loss in a different color and I did that. My requirement is complete here. But let us say a month later, supplies starts giving profits. It turns profitable and starts giving profits. And let us say labels starts giving loss, orientation changes, indicating loss. Even then, they will not automatically move from one member to another member in the group. Even if supplies starts giving you profits at a later point of time, it will remain in the loss group only. Even though labels actually starts giving you loss after a certain point of time, it will remain in the profitable group only. These members will not automatically move from one group to another member in that group. Okay, one member to another member, they will not automatically jump and go here and there depending on their value. Which means what? Which means groups are static. Groups are static. Once you create a group and place it in one member, it will remain there only, no matter what the value. If you have to change it, you have to go and manually choose to edit the group and then move it from one place to another. So bookcases or supplies, I will take it to other. Okay, you have to move it like that. And only when you move it, the color will change here. Which means groups are static. They are not dynamic. Groups are static. Then why do we create something if it is static? Why do we have to create a group? So this concept of visual group, it comes in very handy with geographical maps. When you are discussing or when you are trying to create custom territories. Okay, this we will do when we get to the concept on geographical maps. But as of now, if you have understood the concept of a visual group, that is sufficient. Groups in general are static. Members in a group will remain in this group until and unless you go and edit the group and move them to a different member. They will not automatically, depending on the data, depending on the value, jump around. They will remain where you have put them. You have to go and manually move them if you have to. Okay, clear to all of you? You can also create a group by selecting the members from here. You can do that again. Try to create a group by selecting the labels on the header and then create a group and see what happens. This again, I want you all to try by yourself. I will do it on Monday. So for Monday, you have two activities. First thing is explore the different options that are there for displaying the values in the filter when you make it an interactive filter. See whether it will be possible to get rid of all. That is one activity. Second activity is when you're practicing the concept of groups, I request you all to try to create a group by directly selecting the headers, the members on the header rather than the data points. Okay, right. So two activities which we will discuss on Monday, but I want you all to try it first. That is about groups, and let's proceed to the next concept. Next concept that we are supposed to discuss is how to create a set. You may take a break for 10 minutes here. Let's take a break. After that, we will continue our discussion. Okay. Set again needs a little time. So we'll do this after the break. I'll see you people in 10 minutes time. After 10 minutes. Thank you.
This conference will now be recorded.
So we discussed about group before going on the break. Now we shall discuss about how to create something called as a set. Okay. Now we have established that groups are static. The members that you put in a particular member inside a group, they will remain in that parent member forever until and unless we go and manually move it to another place, to another member in that group. Okay, but set on the other hand is dynamic. So what is the difference between a group and a set is a question that you will encounter pretty often. In every interview you will find it. They will definitely ask you what is the difference between group and set. Differences between group and set. So the first difference is that group is static, in the sense members in the group will remain in that group only until and unless you go and manually move them to another member in the group. Okay. Set, on the other hand, is dynamic because it can be created based on a condition. Only the members which satisfy the condition will remain in that group. Members which do not satisfy the condition, they will automatically be taken out of the set. Members which satisfy the condition that you give will be in the set. Members which do not satisfy the condition will automatically be taken out of the set. So the set and members in the set are dynamic. Okay, that is one thing. Second thing is group can be created on both dimensions and measures, whereas set can be created only on dimensions. Okay, groups can be created on both dimensions and measures. So if you go to a dimension member, you will see the option to create a group. If you go to any measure, even there you will find the option to create a group. However, when it comes to set, you will find that option only when you are on a dimension. You don't see the option to create a set for a measure. Instead, we get something called as a bin, which is a completely different concept. We'll discuss it later on. These are the things that you have to remember with respect to group and set. Sending it on the chat. You can save it in that notepad. You can maintain one notepad for such things, okay, that we discuss in the class. All right. So next, how do you create a set? Okay. So I'll give one requirement. Let us say my requirement is to look at the top uh, okay, let's go with customers. The top 5 profitable customers of the business. Based on whatever we have learned till now, till date, how will you approach? If you have to create a report with the top 5 customers of Superstore, you will create a filter. So let me also sort it, and I will take customer name to the filter shelf. I will directly go to the top tab and say that I want to look at the top 5 customers based on their sum of profit. And my report showing me the top 5 profitable customers of Superstore business is ready. Okay. Now let us say the requirement is changed. It's modified. The client says, see, by using a filter, you are eliminating the rest of the customers and showing me only top 5. But my requirement is you show me all the customers, but highlight the top 5 in a different color. Okay, the client is telling us, don't eliminate or remove the other customers. Keep all the customers of my business on the graph, but highlight the top 5 in a different color. Then how to do it? You can, instead of putting a filter, create a set. So defining a set is similar to defining putting a filter on a dimension. Similar to putting a filter on a dimension. Okay, but we create a set like this. We just go to the member and go to create, select set. I'm trying to create a set. So when I choose to create a set, I will get this window which looks just like the filter window. General, condition, top. General, condition, top. Only wildcard is missing. Otherwise, everything is the same as your filter window for dimension filter. So let us call this top 5 customers. Okay. And I will go to top by field. I say I want to get how many? Top 5 customers based on their sum of profit. I want to see top 5 profitable customers based on their sum of profit. And click on OK. So here is a set with top 5 customers in it. If I take it to the filters shelf, it will act like a filter by eliminating what is not in the set and showing you only the members that are in the set. Who are the members in the set? Top 5. Or you can take it to the color shelf. The members in the set in one color, members out of the set who do not belong to the set in another color. You can take it to size, members in the set in one color, out of the set in another color. You can also use mark type as shape and take it to shape, members in the set with one shape, out of the set with another shape. So it's your choice how you make use of the set once you create it. You can also take it to the graph. You can also take a set to the chart. So in and out you will get. Who are the members in the set? Top 5 customers. Who are the members out of the set? Rest of them. Rest of the customers who are not in the top 5 list. Now these top 5 will be dynamic. From time to time, whenever you open this report, whenever you open this worksheet or this workbook, Tableau will check for the latest top 5 in the database and show you the latest top 5 automatically. So if for example, Tamara Chand is no longer in the top 5 list, he will be automatically taken out. And whoever is in the top 5, they will come up here. Okay, that is how a set is different from a group. It is dynamic. Depending on the condition that we specify, only the data that satisfies the condition will be in the set. Data that does not satisfy the condition will be out of the set automatically. Please create this set, all of you. Okay, so that is how you create a set. Now when it comes to creating a set, we also have an option called as creating a combined set. We can also create something called as a combined set. Now how do we create a combined set? Let us change the requirement that we have. My requirement is to look at the top 5 customers and the bottom 5 customers of Superstore. Top 5 and bottom 5 customers of Superstore is what I'm interested in looking at. Nobody else. So I want top 5 followed by that bottom 5 and nobody else. How to do so? Okay. So what we will do is we will create one more set on customer name. We will create one more set on customer name. This time we will call it bottom 5 customers directly to the top tab, and I will say by field I'm interested in looking at the bottom 5 customers of sample Superstore. Finish. So I have a set with top 5 customers in it. I have a set with bottom 5 customers in it. If I can somehow combine the two of them, I can show all the members, top 5 and bottom 5. So when you create a set, when you create multiple sets on the same dimension, we get an option to combine them. Let us say we have a set A with so and so members, 1, 2, 3, 4 in it, and we have a set B too with 2, 4, 5, and as looks in it. If long as they are built on the same dimension, we can combine them. So when you talk about combining two different sets, we can combine using the option A union B, A intersection B, A minus B, or B minus A. What will A union B give us? A union B will give us all the members from both the sets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the unique members present in both the sets, they have come up. You can have A intersection B. A intersection B means only the members that are present in both A as well as in B. Shared members, common members. So one is here but not here. So it did not come up in the result. So intersection means shared members. One is not here. So it did not come up in the result. 2 is here and 2 is here. So it is a shared or a common member present in both the sets. So 2 is there in the result. 3 is present over here but not over here. So 3 is not there in the result of A intersection B. 4 is present here and also present here. So it is a common member between the two sets. Therefore 4 has come up in the result of intersection. 5 is present over here but we don't have 5 here. 6 is present over here but we don't have 6 here. Therefore it will not show up in the result. Okay, so combined set, when you say you want to combine the members in two different sets together, you can choose one of the 4 options. A union B is all the members in both the sets. A intersection B is only the common members from both the sets. A minus B is data in A but not in B. Only the members that are present in A, 1 and 3 are present in A. They are not present in B. So that is the result. B minus A is the other way around. Data that is present only in B but not in A. That is 5 and 6. All right. So this is how we can combine two different sets together. Now here what is our requirement? To see the top 5 customers followed by the bottom 5 customers together on a single graph. So I'm saying let us try to create a combined set. How do you create a combined set? You can go to any one of the sets that you have created, click on the drop down icon, and you will see an option to create a combined set. Now this will come only if you have created both the set using the same dimension member. If you have created one set on customer name, another set on customer ID or any other field, then you will not see the option to create a combined set. So all of you please go to one of the sets that you have created, either top 5 or bottom 5, doesn't matter, and you select the option to create a combined set. Select the option to create a combined set. Okay, when you see this option and when you click on that option to create a combined set, now you can give it a name. I'm leaving it as set 1. How would you like to combine the two sets is what Tableau is asking me. How would you like to combine them? Bottom 5 I want to combine with top 5. Bottom 5 list I want to combine with top 5 list, and I want to see all the members in both of them. I want to see everything in bottom 5 and all the members in top 5 also. So I will have to use the first option, A union B. First option, A union B, and click on OK. Now we have our set, which you can take to the filter shelf. So you will see top 5 followed by the bottom 5. Let me rename it actually. I'll call it at a top and the bottom 5. Please replicate this and then we'll discuss further. Or maybe we'll discuss. Now let us say the requirement is I want top 5 in different color and bottom 5 in another color. Top 5 should show up in one color, bottom 5 should show up in another color. Then what to do? You can take any one of the set that you created, top 5 or bottom 5, take it to the color shelf. So what happens? Top 5 will come in one color, bottom 5 automatically in another color. Now this is not the color that I like, so I will edit the colors. How to edit? Double click on the color legend. Top 5 I will show in green, bottom 5 I will show in red. Okay, like that you can try. Okay, this is about set and combined set and how we use them. Practice it and then we will discuss further about the next concept. This concept is done.
One question over here. In
Yeah.
out is the field name you have given, or by default the field name is come in out?
In out by default. So when you create a set, some members are in the set and some members are out of the set, right? Who are the members in the set? The top 5. So
Okay.
like suppose I take this. We have in and out, which happens automatically. Members in the set based on the definition, based on how we created it, top 5 customers. Who are our top 5 customers? Let me take it. These 5 people are in the set based on how we created it. Rest of the members do not belong to the set, right? When they do not belong to the set, they are out of the set. That is how it is. Along with top 5 and bottom 5, can we have the rest of the customers also identified in another color? You can do that. Would you like to try? How will you do that? How do you show the rest of the customers also and show them in a different color? Is don't filter. First thing is don't filter. Let's show all the customers and we'll take our top and bottom 5 to the color shelf. Then what happens? Who are the members in your set? Top 5 and bottom 5. So you can see top 5 in a different color and you can see bottom 5 here in the same color. These are the members in the set. Rest of the members in the middle between top 5 and bottom 5, we have many customers. They are all coming up in gray. Now you're telling you want this middle part, the rest of the customers in a different color. Top 5 in one color, bottom 5 in another color, rest of the members in another color. How to do that? Is you can take any one of the set that you created, like top 5 to the color shelf. Now Tableau will take a combination. You see now in and everything else is out, because what did I take on the color shelf? Okay, we'll do one thing. Let's take top and bottom 5 to color. So we have in one color and out in another color. Now what you will do is take top 5 to the detail shelf, because when you take it directly to the color shelf, it will remove whatever we had earlier. Ideally, we can have only one field on the color shelf, or be it size shelf or shade shelf. It will accept only one field. If you're giving it more than one field, it will remove the first one. So the workaround that we use is don't directly take the other one to the color shelf, take it to the detail shelf. Now when I bring it to the detail shelf, you see detail icon. Here I will click and make it color. Now when you do this, it's a little tricky, but what we are trying to do is we are taking top and bottom 5 and top 5 and then trying to decide what color to give. So you need to understand the concept of in, out now. Even before that concept of in and out is clear to all of you, right? When do you say what is in? Members that are in the set. In this case, top 5. If it is top 5, then the top 5 customers, which means the remaining 788 customers that we have, they are out of the set automatically. Only top 5 are in the set, means out of 793, top 5 are in the set. Means the rest of the 788 are not in the set. They're out of the set. Now we are using two different sets and their combination here. So let us see what did we use. We used top and bottom 5 customers. Okay, the other set that we are combining it with is top 5 on the color shelf. So if a member is present in this and in this, what does it mean? Who will be present in both top and bottom 5 and top 5? In means who will be there. Finally, in that in combination, who will be there? Top 5. Okay, hope all of you are following. So finally, in this combination, I'll have top 5. Now suppose I say in here and out here, who will be in this list? Bottom 5. They are present in top and bottom 5, but not in top 5, which means bottom 5. Here we will get bottom 5. Out and out means who? They are not in top and bottom 5. They are not in top 5. Means who are they? Not in any of the given sets. Means who are there? Okay, I hope all of you are following this. Others. Others means the remaining customers. Others. Okay, so now you decide what color you want to give in and in, which is top 5, green. Out, in and out, which is bottom 5, let us say red. Out and out, not in the top 5 list, not in the bottom 5 list, not anywhere. So we will make them gray color. Okay, so by doing this, what we have top 5 in green, rest of them in gray, and bottom 5 in red. 3 different colors now. Okay, so like that you will have to use a workaround technique. All right, so now let us proceed to the next concept. Hierarchy. Hierarchy is an arrangement, right? It's an arrangement of items like the organizational hierarchy, top level management, middle level management, then the lower level management, and then the workforce, that kind of thing, that pyramid kind of a structure. So here, when we are representing something as being above or below or at the same level as another member, what hierarchies do we have in Superstore? If you observe, we know about one hierarchy that we have been using a lot. We know that we have data for different categories. Under each category, we have different subcategories, and under each subcategory, we know different products are being sold. So can we say this is a hierarchy? We can say this is a hierarchy, right? So how do we tell Tableau that this is a hierarchy? And what is the advantage that we get when we represent the data in a hierarchical format is what we will see. Now, when you have data in a hierarchical format, you create a hierarchy and tell Tableau that it is a hierarchy. Okay, how to create a hierarchy is you can go to the parent member, right click on it, and last third option on the drop down menu will be hierarchy. Go there and select the option to create a hierarchy. Okay, when you right click on category field, last third option is hierarchy. This you do along with me, don't wait for later, do it along with me. It is a simple concept, you can do it along with me. Go to the field category, right click on it, last third option is hierarchy. There you have to select the option called as create hierarchy. When you do that, Tableau will give you a small dialog box, a pop-up asking you to give a name to that hierarchy. Let us call this product hierarchy. Okay, we're calling it product hierarchy. Click on OK. Now I have one member under this product hierarchy, which is category, only one member. And this is the visual cue or icon for hierarchy. You should be familiar with all the visual cues, data types, set, group, hierarchy, all these things you should know. Okay, because there will be questions on even the symbol in certification, as well as sometimes people may even ask you in interview. So you should know this is the icon for hierarchy with one member in it. Now I have to put more members here. I have to put the child member subcategory. So I'll go to subcategory, right click on it, go to hierarchy, and this time I don't want to create a hierarchy. Instead, I want to add it to an existing hierarchy named as product. So I will just say I want to add to hierarchy product. Subcategory gets included there. And you can notice the category pill on the graph. It is now prefixed with a minus sign. Okay, earlier it was not there, it came up. Now observe subcategory pill. I'll take product name, add that also to the hierarchy. You see, product name and minus sign came on subcategory. So when you place members in a hierarchy in Tableau, what happens is we will be given access to something called as the drill down and roll up features. Drill down and roll up. Drill down means you'll get a plus sign. When you click on that, it will take you to the next level. Again, you click on it, it will take you to the next level. So drill down is strictly sequential. By clicking on the plus sign, you can do a drill down. Roll up is when you click on the minus sign. Drill up or roll up, anything you can call it. So it comes back to the parent member. Let's say I'm looking at the profits here. When I drill down, it will show me the profits also computed for different subcategories. Further at product level. Roll up also I can do step by step or directly at the parent level. You can also access this drill down and drill up or roll up features from the graph. If you have placed the members in a hierarchy, it will come up. And when you go to the name of the field, their category, you see plus sign. When I click on that, it will drill down. Further I click, it drills down. Or I can roll up. So you can use the plus or minus sign to do the drill down and the roll up. Okay. Drill down and roll up features can be accessed when you place the members in a hierarchy. Now, try to create another hierarchy, location hierarchy. We have country. That country is divided into different regions. Each region comprises of different states. Each state contains different cities. Each city contains different postal code areas. Try to create one location hierarchy and place the members in a hierarchy. Once you practice that, we will proceed to the next concept. So how will you create it? You can go to the parent member country, right click and choose hierarchy and choose to create hierarchy. Call it location hierarchy. Okay. Then you can take like region and place it below country. Drag and drop also you can do. Then you take state, drag and drop it below region. Then you take city, drag and drop it below state. Then you take postal code, drag and drop it below city. So the arrangement should be correct. It should be in a proper hierarchical fashion. So country, when I take, now I don't have to drag and drop region. I'll drill down, I'll get region. Further drill down, I'll get state. Further drill down, I'll get city. Further drill down, I'll get postal codes. And I can roll up at any level that I'm interested in. Okay. So that is the purpose of hierarchies and how they help us to access the drill down and the roll up features. Next is folders. Creating folders. Now hierarchy is clearly giving an advantage where we can use the drill down and the roll up features. But when you create a folder, it's not going to give you any technical advantage as such. The only purpose of creating a folder is to organize the data neatly for our own ease and comfort. That's all, nothing more than that. For our own comfort, we will do it. Like for example, there are many fields over here, and let's say there are like about 100 fields, or you're dealing with 100 fields. And if you have to keep scrolling up and down to access those fields, it may not be so nice. You may not like it so much to keep doing a drill, scroll down and then scroll up to access the fields. Instead, you can create folders, organize the data neatly into folders. Let's say I want to create a folder called as order, where I'll put all the order information like order date, order ID, ship date, and ship mode. I want to put in one folder. So how do I do is I have to go and create a folder. Now, if I go and try to create a folder, the folders option is deactive. Just above your hierarchy option, you will find it is deactive. That is because by default, the fields are grouped by the data source table that they belong to. Okay. Here also you can see they are grouped by the data source table they belong to. Now I will change that to group by folder. When I say group by folder, you see it is no longer table, it is folders, which means you will be able to create your own folder structure. I'll create one folder called as orders. And what I will do is in this folder, I will place some members inside it. Orders is a folder with order ID. I'll take order date also inside that folder. I'll take ship date also inside that folder, and ship mode also inside that folder. So I can close the folder, collapse it. Whenever necessary, expand it, use the fields to build the graph, and again collapse it. So I'm using it so that I can organize the data neatly, and it will be helpful for me when I'm working with different charts. And when I have a lot of fields and I have to do scroll up and scroll down to access the fields. Rather, organize it neatly by creating folders. You will not get any technical advantage by creating a folders. Creating a folder, it's just for your own convenience and ease that you can do it. Okay, that is Tableau folders. Can you show the option to select the data source before creating folders? You have to change this to group by folder. Then only the folder option will become active. Is this what you're asking for? Okay. Can we toggle between data source and folders? Yes, yes. So how do you toggle? Is after you created folders, if you want to go back to the group by data source table level, you just select group by data source table. Again, it'll come back to the original that it was. Then again, you want to go back to folder, you select group by folder. Then again, it'll take you to the folder structures that you have created. So you can toggle between the two by selecting one of these two options. Possible. Okay. So I think the next and the last concept is highlighter feature. We know that one default highlighting that is always available in Tableau from the very beginning is from the color legend. When you select something on the color legend, only the respective data will get highlighted and the irrelevant data, it will get automatically dimmed down. That is a highlighting feature which has been there in Tableau for a very long time. There is another feature also under highlighter, which we will see now. Try to replicate this chart, monthly profits across different subcategories with subcategory on the color shelf. And please observe the color of the date pill. It is blue colored month, blue. How to create this graph? You will simply take order date to the columns shelf, and when you click on the drop down icon of the date pill, pick up month from the second set of dates. Pick up month from the second set of dates. That will give you, sorry, my bad, sorry, not second, first set of dates, because we want a discrete month, right? We want a discrete month. So you'll pick it up from the first set of dates, month. That is when you will get a discrete month. And we are interested in looking at the profit, so you can take profit there. On top of that, we want to look at this profit for per subcategory. So I'm taking subcategory to the, which is in my product hierarchy, I'll take it to the color shelf. Now, though we are able to see a line for different subcategories, different color, it is quite cluttered. Now, from the color legend, we do have the highlighter feature. So when I select something on the color legend, only respective data gets highlighted on the graph. Everything else is getting dimmed out. That is something that has been there always in Tableau, color highlighter. Now I'll do one thing. Let us say instead of color, I have taken it to the detail shelf. So I'm only granularizing the data. I'm looking at the profits per subcategory, but I don't know which line is corresponding to what data. So here on the subcategory field on the detail shelf, when you click on the drop down icon, there's something called as show highlighter. When you select that option show highlighter, the highlighter feature will become active. And here, as you start typing in everything that meets the criteria you have given here will show up. Okay. You don't have to give the complete string. Even if you give a substring or a character, everything that matches the substring or matches the character will show up. Here again, when you hover towards any one member, that member is getting highlighted. When you hover away, both of them are getting highlighted. Okay, when you select something, that gets highlighted. So only until and unless you do not click anywhere. Once you click anywhere, it goes off because it is highlighting, right? It's highlighting. So that is highlighter feature. Very simple and easy. Try it out and then we'll proceed to the next module. Hover, okay. So simple, you just go there and as you hover the mouse pointer towards any member here, the corresponding line is getting highlighted, no? Everything else is dimmed out, that is highlighted. Now, if you start typing in something, only whatever meets the criteria you have typed, that will get highlighted. That is what I meant. Clear? Yeah, highlighted is interactive for end user also. Just like your interactive filter, highlighter also gets displayed and the end user can interact through the highlighter as well. Correct. Yes. Okay. So I hope it's clear to all of you. We have come to the end of module 4, where we have seen a lot of concepts: sorting, filtering, um, groups, set, folders, hierarchies, highlighting. 7 different concepts we learned here, right? So practice this sufficiently over the weekend. And if you have any questions, get back to me. I have given you 2 activities here. Please try to take some time out and do the 2 activities. If all of you are able to solve it, we will directly start with the discussion when we meet on Monday. If you are not able to solve, we'll have to take it up in the class. All right. Now proceeding to the next module, which is on data connections, where we learn about various types of data connections in Tableau. We'll learn about a concept called as data blending, and we learn about data extractions in detail. Okay, that is the agenda for the module 5 on data connections, blending and extraction. We will now look at single database joins. What is a join? Now, usually client data these days, you cannot expect to get it from one single table in one single database. Okay, it was definitely going to be split across multiple tables, sometimes even multiple databases, multiple tables across multiple databases altogether. So when you have data that is split across multiple tables, how do we access it? How do we combine the data coming from multiple tables and use that data to create the reports? Okay, so we use a concept called as joins. We use a concept called as joins. Like for example, let us think of a college database. What do you think will be in a college database? There will be one table probably containing all the students' information, student ID, student name, the course that they are enrolled for. Okay, so that information, let us say, is in the student table. Let's say there is one more table called as course details, with the course ID, course name, and the contents in that course. There's one more table called as fee, the course ID, and for that course, what is the fee being charged and which all students have paid the fee. Staff, staff table, staff ID, name of that person, and what is the course that they are handling, which class, right? So usually we will not have all this data put together in one single table. It is split across multiple tables. There's a student table, there's a course table, there's a fee table, there's a staff table, etc. Now let us say I have to create a report showing the names of the students, the course that they are enrolled for, and the course details. Name of the student, the course that they are enrolled for, and the course details. Course details are in this table. Then obviously I have to combine these two together. I have to combine these two together and then access the data from this entire thing and create my report. So when you have to combine data coming from multiple tables for your requirements, we use the concept of joins. One of the options is joins. Okay, many options are there. One of the options is joins. But to be able to join the data coming from multiple tables and create a report using that data, there has to be a common field between the tables that you're trying to join. Okay, they must have the same, there has to be a common field, and that field should have the same data type. If you change the data type after you join the tables, the join will break. Okay, so join basically gives you a feeling that you are combining data coming from multiple tables and virtually creating a much bigger table out of it by combining the columns, together. Okay, Now, when we say we want to join the data coming from multiple tables, first prerequisite, there has to be a common field based on which we join the data. Second thing you need to understand is join gives you an effect of combining the columns. Like 4 columns from table A and 4 columns from table B joined together, giving you virtually a bigger table with 8 columns in it. And what will be the data inside these 8 columns? That would depend on the type of join that you are applying. Are you going for an inner join, which includes only values with matches in both the tables, like intersection? Are you going for a left join where you get everything from the left side table and matching data from the right side table? Are you going for a right join which will give you all the data from the right hand side table, matching records from the left hand side table? Are you going for a full join where you will get everything from both the tables? Okay, so it's your choice. Depending on the requirement that you're trying to solve, you have to pick up the correct join. This is the first hurdle to cross. Get your joins right, get your data right, then everything will fall in place automatically. If we don't get the join right, subsequent reporting will not be proper. So to be able to identify which join to apply, when to join the data, how to join the data, and which join to apply becomes very important or crucial for any analysis. So here what I will do is, just for explanation sake, I'm going to use very tiny worksheets, okay, tables to explain the concept. Then you can extend it to Superstore or any other database once you know the logic. Some of you might already be familiar with joins, but this will mostly benefit the participants who are absolutely new to the concept of joins. I will show you the data that I will be using to explain the concept, then I will proceed further. Now here are two tables. Let us say there are two tables. One table has the name course details, and what does course details contain is the names of the students and the course that they are enrolled for. Names of the students and the course that they are enrolled. There is another table called as student details, where again I have the names of the students and their age. Names of the student and their age. Okay, now I have been asked to create a report showing the names of the students, their age, and the course that they are enrolled to. I need to put everything there. Obviously, I have to join these two together. Only when I combine, I get the complete information. Now, how do I join? First, we'll have to get connected to the data source. And when we get connected to any data source, what happens? We are taken to the data source page where we can see the name of the data source we are connected to, what type is it, and what are the different worksheets or tables or schemas or views, whatever present pages present in that data source. I want to use the data from course details, which I will drag and drop here. Once you drag and drop, what happens? Tableau a preview of that data on the data grid. Once you see a preview and you're happy with the data, what do? Now you have to combine this with student details information. I know that I need to join the data here. Okay, I know that I need to join the data. Okay, Manish. Okay, so what to do here? To join the data, you click on the drop down icon of this table. Click on the drop down icon of this table and hit open. From 2020.1 version onwards, this happens. Otherwise, earlier we used to get the join interface only. 2020.1, they updated this, where you have to click on the drop down icon and select open. When you do that, it will take you to the join interface like this. So I have course details. I have to combine it with student details. So how do you join? All you have to do is drag student details, drag and drop it next to course details. Okay, drag the second table and drop it next to the first table. Now I did not give you all these data sources, So you will not be able to do it along with me or practice. Okay, this is just for your understanding. Once I do that, you see Tableau automatically established the join. It automatically established the join. This is the icon for join operator. When I click on that, I can see that Tableau has used inner join. And you can change the join to left join by clicking on it, or right join, or full outer join. Then what is the field on which join happened? Because we said if we want to join the data coming from multiple tables, there has to be a common field on which we join the data. That field is here, name. So how did Tableau identify this? Tableau will go through the names of all the fields in both the tables. Okay, and it looks for the field with the same name and same data type. It identified name and it's joining name, and the clause is equal to name equal to name. It has done an inner join and given you this result. Now what will inner join give you? Okay, inner join will give you only values with matches in both the tables. Values with matches in both tables means what? Answer here. I will put this data here just for clarity's sake. Okay, exact match. Student A does not have a matching record here, so that is excluded from the result of your inner join. Student B equal to student B, we have a matching record. Name equal to name, B equal to B, we have a record. So that came up in the result of the inner join. B enroll for R and age so and so. Student C has a matching record here. Common data C and C, so that came in the result. D and D common, so that came up in the result of your inner join. Student E does not have a matching record in this table. When there is no matching record, what will happen? It will not show up in the result of your inner join, so it is excluded. That is why the result of the inner join here is B, C and D. Okay. Okay, I hope it's making sense to all of you. Now, even those of you who are new to the concept of joins, I hope it's clear to you. Let us change this to left. Left means what? The hero of this join is your left hand side table, to your left side. So course details has the control or the precedence. He is the hero. Course details is the hero. So we get everything from the left side. Course details A, B, C, D, everybody came. And matching records from the right side table. Wherever a match is not found, it will show up as null. So B has matching data, it lined up. C has matching data, it lined up. D has matching data, it lined up. Student A does not have any matching record in this table. Because there is no matching record for student A over here, it is showing you null. Null means nothing, blank. Okay. And what about E? What about E? E is present in the right side table. It will not even be considered because our hero is course details. We will get everything from course details, matching records from student details. Wherever matches are there, it will line up. Where a matching record is not found, it will show up as null. But something that is present in student details but not in course details will not even show up in the result. We are not even bothered about it. We'll not even look at it. Okay, left join. Now right join. Right join means what? We are changing. The hero of this join is your student details now. The table on your right hand side. Which means I will get everything from the right hand side table student details. And matching records from the course details will line up. Wherever matching data is not there, it will show up as null. Vice versa. Exactly the opposite of it. So we are getting everything from student details. B, C, D and E. For B, there is a matching record found in course details, it lined up. For C and D also, there are matching records, they lined up. Student E does not have a matching record. but it came up because it is right join, and right join means right side table is important. And we can see there is no matching record here. It is showing up as null. However, in this join, who did not come? Student A, who was present in the course details but not in student details, did not even show up because our hero is student details. Everything from student details, matching records from course details where a matching record is not found, that simply shows up as null. Right join. Full outer is everything from both the tables. Both of them are important now. You will get everything from table A, you will get everything from table B. Wherever matches are there, they are lining up. Wherever matches are not there, corresponding data is showing up as null. That is full outer join. So 4 joins Tableau supports. All these joins are Cartesian product. Row one-to-many mapping. One-to-many mapping means what? Let us see. I will change the join operator to not equal to. Name equal to name it was doing till now. Let us do name not equal to name and see the result. Student A, wherever A is not equal to the name A, you will get that result. A is not equal to it came up. A is not equal to D is one record. A is not equal to C is one record. A with B is one record. B with E we got. B with D we got. B with C we got. B with B did not come up. B and B are equal. It did not come up because we are joining based on not equal to clause. Not equal to clause. Okay. C is coming up with E. C is coming up with D. C is coming up with B. C and C did not come up. Why C and C did not come up? Because we are doing not equal to. So every record from table A is matched with every other record from table B. Okay. Depending on the operator that you are using. Now, we can also add multiple join clauses. It's not like you can join only on one field. You can join based on multiple fields also. You can keep adding join clauses, as many as you want. Okay. This is one point. So like this, you can drag and drop as many tables as you want, and they will all keep getting joined together. Tableau will try to automatically identify a join field and it'll keep joining the data. So what is the effect of join? Can you all tell me in one word, what is the effect of join? What is it combining together? Combining data how? Columns it is combining. It is taking 2 columns from course details, 2 columns from student details. Ultimately, we are getting virtually a bigger table with 4 columns in it. And how much data, how many records? How many records will depend on the type of join used and the type of data we have, right? Agreed, all of you? So I'm getting 3 records here. If I go like this, I'm getting 4 records. If I go like this, I get 4 records. If I go with full out, I get 6 records. So depending on the 5 records, depending on the data, you will get the information there. But combining columns is the primary effect, you can say. Now let us assume for a moment, this is single database join, where we have all the tables in one single database and we joined it together. Not so difficult. Now let us say, for the moment, let us say we do not have course student details here. Let's say I don't have student details in this data connection. In this data connection called as joins Microsoft Excel, I have course details information. Let us assume for now we have student details in a completely different data source altogether. Completely different data source altogether. That is a text file. Okay, I'm having student details information in a completely different data source altogether, which is a text file. How do I now combine data from a text file with the data from an Excel file? That is called as cross database connectivity or multiple database joins. What we have seen so far is single database joins. Now we are discussing about multiple database joins. Means what? What to do? For cross database connectivity or multiple database joins, we will use this add option. We will use this add option to an existing connection where we are already connected to one database, and using the data from that database, we want to add one more connection. Here people always make a mistake. Okay. Because every batch I come across participants, after pointing it out very clearly, for cross database, they will go and do this. They will go to data menu and hit on new data source. We are not trying to make a completely different independent connection. No. So don't go to new data source. We are trying to add a new connection to an existing connection. So you have to use this add button. Whichever databases support cross database connectivity, cross database join, they are active. Whichever databases do not support it, they are automatically deactive. Okay, my other data is in a text file, so I'll select text file. I'll have to navigate to the place where I have the text file. And select it and hit open. So that is a text file. There's only one text file there. So the data automatically gets in, it gets joined here. Now when Tableau is trying to join the data from the new database text file with the existing data, it is giving me a broken link with a red colored exclamation mark. This comes up when Tableau is not able to identify a common field to join the data. To join, we need a common field. And if Tableau is not able to find that common field, then it will give you a red exclamation. Okay, then what to do? We have to check. The names of the fields in course details is course and name. The names of the fields under student details is age and student name. So what is called as name here is called as student name here. Because the names of the columns are different, Tableau could not automatically identify it as a common field. But we as people who have an understanding about our data, we know that both the fields are the same. It's just that they are stored with different names in different databases, in different tables. So we will tell Tableau, no, you use name from here and join it with student name from here. Okay, and then it will join the data. Now in student name, I have two records. Okay, in this particular file that I'm showing you. One second. Let me show you the data. So in the student details text file that I'm using for cross database connectivity, I have used there's two students with the name B, one with age 30 and one with 50, and the name of the column is student name. So when it is doing the join, what is it doing? Checking every record from table A, mapping it or matching with every record in table B. So B with B is a match, B with another B is also a match, C with C is a match, D with D is a match. We are doing inner join, so we'll get common data present in both the tables, shared members or common data from both the tables. Okay, that is cross database connectivity. And you can see an orange bar on these two fields, orange bar on student details, orange bar on student details. So Tableau is clearly color coding the fields and telling us these two come from one data connection, and these two with a blue bar come from course details with a blue bar, which comes from joins with a blue bar. Getting it? It also color codes the fields, helping us to understand which fields are coming from which data connection. So we have covered simple single database joins, and we have covered multiple database joins, which is also called as cross database connectivity or cross database join. Here we will stop our discussion for today. After the weekend when we meet, we will continue. Do the names in both columns should match in format? Means no, even if it is not case sensitive, it will match. You can have small b here and capital B here, still it will match. Okay, it will match. So there is a chance of running into duplicates. You have to take care of it outside of Tableau. Tableau cannot handle duplicates. Yeah, they should be of the same data type though. They should be of the same data type, correct. After the join, if you change the data type of this field, let us say student name, I'll change the data type to something else, then it will break, the join will break. You should not change the data type of the field after you have joined it. They should be of the same data type. All right, so that's it from my side. I'm going to stop the recording. If any of you has any questions, please let me know. I'll take it up. Attendance has been already noted. Manish had joined the